Welcome to the Season 2 overview for Marketing and Comms. I'm Karen Broomhead, and myself and Helen-Louise Smith are both here, and I'll talk you through our plan for Season 2. So, our story will look at the Greater Manchester Public Facing Comms / campaign, which Helen will talk through in more details later, how we sharing enablers of change and other learning from the pilot. And I suppose the big difference for us is that we will have more than just one person supporting you from a marketing and comms perspective. So if we split the pilot into 3 threads with regards to the marketing, there's the public facing comms, which Helen will be leading on, the engaging with the local pilot leads around these comms and supporting you to utilise your budget to support this, which both Helen and I will be working on. And then I'll be leading the partner facing comms around sharing the stories and the learning.
So our public-facing communication plan has been captured on a page here alongside the indicative budgets for media spend and creative development. So the plan for 2021 proposes changes to the previous Greater Manchester local delivery pilot campaign approach that, as many or all of you will know, saw us commission and develop a singular campaign, which was, of course, That Counts, which was adopted to reach a number of complex audience segments. But in 2021, we are changing our approach a little, and this will see us downweighting That Counts with just one phase of planned media activity. But this sits alongside a really important ask of the 10 local pilot areas to now use their localised LDP comms budgets to extend That Counts locally, using the editable suite of assets and campaign materials that we've made available in the online campaign toolkit. We're also looking to take a more strategic geographic and demographic targeting approach. So we are consciously shifting away from just placing all campaign media spend equally across the whole of Greater Manchester, and instead, by really looking and analysing the data that's available, we are choosing to focus on boroughs with the most inactive or most residents, the most inactive residents, or the residents who have specific barriers to activity. So for example, residents with long-term health conditions or those from lower socio-economic groups. Another change in 2021 is that we are going to support with paid media amplification the really fantastic existing national campaigns which come out from Sport England and Age UK, and we are going to use our budget to promote them within Greater Manchester by extending the national activity. So for example, This Girl Can, We Are Undefeatable, and a really specific strand of Characters of Fitness, which is aimed at women of African heritage, rather than us developing our own campaign and just duplicating with regional campaign developments. We're not going to do that. We're just going to put our money behind the extension of their existing campaigns. And we're working really closely with Sport England's media agencies at the moment to just understand when their campaign activity will go live and how we can best dovetail with their activity through the paid media extension that we want to do. And then finally, we're looking at developing some new creative. So we really want to move on from awareness. So That Counts is very much about raising awareness of a specific target, so a 30-minute target for people to aim towards, and about reframing what it means to be physically active. And we now feel that the time's right to move the creative strategy on a little bit and to move more explicitly to motivational messages that motivate people to be active in the moment of seeing the advertisement. So to keep moving, literally. So we're looking at inspiring people into taking short bursts of movement and to do that more regularly. And as well as that, we are also hoping to reach new specific inactive audiences which have been previously untapped through That Counts. So very specifically South Asian residents and the over 75s.
So moving on to the second thread of our work, just around engaging with you as local pilot leads with this. So there'll be both myself and Helen working on that. We split the areas into 5 each. So Helen will be working with Bolton, Bury, Manchester, Oldham and Rochdale, and I'll be working with Salford, Stockport, Tameside, Trafford and Wigan, around really understanding how we can support you, utilise the assets available to you a little bit more and what you can do in your area. The final strand is the partner facing comms around sharing those stories and those learnings. And I suppose it's just how we've changed that from last time. So previously we've got the process evaluation learnings. We all know that's all really important, not just for ourselves, but how we relay that across Greater Manchester and even nationally, so others can also learn from the programme. What we've done is put the report online and share it on social, directed people to it previously. But now what we're looking at is really digging into those and just pulling out a couple of the main points that we think would help people. So for example, the enablers of change. We've got a mini campaign next week starting on this. It's looking more at how people use them, what they are, really making sure people understand it rather than having to be in the local pilot world and terminology to be able to use that. So there'll be animations, there's your stories that are happening on the ground, how you've used them. And I suppose it's more of a planned social media campaign to it. So we're still utilising social media, but we're probably just using it a little bit smarter in the hope to get the messages out a little bit differently. So marketing is one of 4 catalysts for the local pilot programme, as you all know. I suppose it's just highlighting here that it is really important that we're all working together. So we'll be working with engagement and workforce, probably specifically around sharing the stories that are coming out. And then our work with the learning evaluation is sharing those learnings, so like the enablers of change that I've just spoke about. There are a number of plot points that will help us through the season 2. So we've got the launch of the refreshed GM moving in action later on in the year between July and September. So that's a real opportunity for the marketing and comms. So get with locality comms leads and make a big deal about this, really. Make sure we're getting those messages right, sharing the messages, reaching new audiences, both who can deliver and the public on the ground. There's the new marketing campus and campaign that Helen spoke around, and we've got the regular 6-month process evaluations coming through as well. When tasked with looking about the supporters and the detractors, you'll see that there's a number coming in both lists. So I'll talk you through where we're coming through with that. So the agencies for the public facing comms obviously are supporting this. We've got Substance, we will provide the evaluation for the learnings. Sport England around their national campaigns to emphasise those messages. Localities, we've got 2 audiences, both local pilot leads and the Marcom leads, that can help deliver this in different ways to different audiences. And the GM team and how we link together and make sure we're working and together we can give you the consistent messages around the marketing, and we can all give ideas of how it can support it. So different detractor and a massive barrier is time. That we know that there is only a couple of us to support with this and everybody's got lots to do. It's just making the most of that time that we do have. Sport England national campaigns have come on both sides. Previously it has been a barrier with national campaigns arriving that we weren't necessarily sure that was coming, but Helen's been working much more closely with the this time around. So like we've just gone through, hopefully our campaign plan aligns with that, so that is not an issue this time round. So we've got localities down, so although can be a massive supporter, there are barriers there as well. So there's 2 audiences for us to work with, so the local pilot leads and the comms leads. You both have different requirements from us. Some of you want the information ready to go so that you can just send it out. Others want to be co-designing that. So we just need to try and make sure that we are providing you all with what you need. There's been barriers around utilising that marketing budget. So I suppose our role is just to dig a bit deeper with our areas that we're working with to understand what those barriers are and how we can help overcome them. And finally, ourselves as a GM local pilot team. So we just need to make sure that we're all aware of the messages and we are sharing them. And it's not that you necessarily, as a locality, asking one member of the team who can't provide you with that, or you only ever hear of the marketing messages when Helen or I are in the room. We should all be able to support and provide that. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for listening / watching, and Helen and I's details are both on the slide if you do want to get in contact with us and chat about anything that you've heard today or any other ideas you've got for season 2. But thank you.